Hello, welcome to my channel. It's good to have you here. My name is Gemma. I'm a criminologist and I'm a mother. And today I want to talk about a little bit about Freemasonry. And it's because of the comments that I've been making on the community posts, and I just want to explain it. And there's a reason, as always. And, this is why. So, as I say and always, and will do now, I am Gematria. Gemma. My name is Gemma. This is about attaining a heart, okay? Rising to our hearts, okay? So this is about the higher spectrum, right, of our chakra points, okay? Hopefully you're following me with this, okay? So this is the relationship between when you leave a Jesus, you rise to a heart, okay? Because the heart is what Jesus was trying to promote, so that doctrine fits into it somehow. My things broke. Just got Wizardo on the job, some magical technician to come and do it. Anyway, we're going to carry on. You can't really see me, but you see me, okay? So what this one is going to be about is about Freemasons, and this isn't a joke, right? So when you understand the Gematria, it's actually the symbol that they go by, right? And what is that? Well, it's Gematria. So I didn't know this, but this is the symbol that the Freemasons go by, okay? Which is interesting. They might say it's about math, which it is. They might say it's about names, which it is, okay? So when we are going through understanding things like religion, because they don't hold a religion in there, not allowed to talk about it in the lodges, not allowed to talk about religion in the lodges, not allowed to talk about politics in their lodges. So I think there's a reason. We'll get into that in a minute. So the main higher principle is to be a Freemason is that you believe in the existence of a God, like like a God, right? That's beyond. And so you have to have some form of religious underpinning to understand this, which is interesting because I don't understand how they can't be religious or talk about religion in there. So that questions my first understanding of that ideology. And the second one is that they don't talk about politics, but they must if they are charitable to certain organisations where there is need. So politics is also one that they talk about, but they deny that they talk about. If that makes sense. So a politic is solving problems in the world. So if you have a problem in the world and you want to talk about it, it comes a politic. So it contradicts itself. Now I'd like to go on to understanding the principles of being a Freemason, the Freemason course. And it says that you're not allowed, you have to have morale. It says you have to have morale and principles. So I've heard by Freemasons, ex-Freemasons, that they don't have and hold morale. Some of these men, because it's a men-only club, are doing things illegal. So to follow a morale and a principle, which would be the baseline of what's right and wrong. So that's a morale and a principle. Okay? So they can say, oh, your principles will get you in trouble because you're standing up for something. Okay? But this is how they stop you from talking. This is how they martyr you, how they take you out. Because you're standing up. Because you're standing up for something that you feel is right. So, to understand the position now, you would have to see it like what is going on in those lodges. It's very contradictory, isn't it? So, my work in the past 3 years on YouTube was to provide to you an understanding of unity of religions and how we can bring that together. And I did it very lightly, and I focused on the woman. This was how religions connect, because it is about the primary goddess, okay, who comes down, okay, and people do believe this as well, right? It was on Google once, I changed it now. But it was a divine feminine energy current that comes down in person, and they're supposed to honour and venerate her. And I didn't know who I was, but I'm pretty sure all the elders did, okay? And they probably wanted to hide me. So they shall do what they wilt with me, okay? I was never helped as a minor. They never helped me. I did get help from other people, okay? So people, not organisations and corporates. And I was shunned a lot, okay? So now I'm older, I understand my ascribed status, which is the Gematria, the goddess, the divine feminine energy current that's down here, and your doctrines, unfortunately, have been tampered with. So I'm here to tell you that some of your doctrines have been tampered with. Some parts of your doctrines have been tampered with to attain an aspect of culture, so that it accepts things like being cruel to women, making women be quiet, because these are the negative sides to it, because they're more easily controlled or martyred for it, which is really sad. We had a queen, solely a queen, for a very long time. I felt safe. She can't control everything, and she couldn't see everything as well. Remember this when we remember her, because she couldn't control everything in that building. And I've seen things that shouldn't have happened, and I think she has as well. But you know that she couldn't have controlled everything in that building. It's too large, right? So let's get back to understanding how the doctrines have been over time. We have to understand this. Have been altered. They do it in the New Testament all the time. You have fringes of mass religions fractioned off because they've done it again, but they've over time recreated a version of an original, right? Whatever your original is, it doesn't matter. There's many religions, okay? There's many ideas, okay? Some of them are like space. That's like a Sikh connotation and understanding, which I think is amazing. It's very imaginative. But we can understand that there might have been a simulated reality then, okay? Because we know AI with a large impact on our world, which is now. And then we know AI not to be so much from our grandparents who teach us. So over time things change. But we must understand that our culture does too. And an aspect of evolution takes place when we remove the disadvantages against the people. Because if we do that, we can rise to a higher space. And ultimately it's a gematria, so it goes beyond the heart. So the gematria isn't green, it becomes an aspect of understanding, and I know energy because it's a travel. Okay? I know this is a travel, and I also know that there's no need to sit in inverted states. I also know that we can evolve a lot better, a lot quicker, and a lot more peaceful if we don't take out, if we redesign our religions to remove the culture within it that states it's okay to do certain things, and if it's against the law today in our society. However, I can also, by natural law, not by legal law, by natural law, okay? So hedonism would be really big to understand a gematria, because that's what I believe. And that's how it kind of starts. But then people get jealous and don't want us to be happy. And that's sad, because if people don't want us to be happy, it's because originally they're not happy. So something's wrong with them. So this is how I see you. Like little children. Whether you're a grown up or not. But you're not little children. Some of you are adults, men, in positions of power. Okay? So you know who I am. So, on that note, we must bridge our gap in understanding how we can best navigate our religion, our politics. Because you ascribe to that status as a Freemason and Freemasonry religious cult, but you argue you don't talk about it. And I assume a lot of you are into politics or religion. So, your religion would be your Freemasonry, wouldn't it? Right? You do the poems and things like this. So you know that I know. But what happens when the goddess comes down and she's there staring at you in the face? You deny her. Why? Because she brings a gift. And it's not the children. Okay? You're all going to jump back through and be kids again. You don't jump back through the next window. You have to go back and restart. Your gift is not children. So I'm talking to elders now. The Jehovah's. We're reaching out into the religions. All of them. Because we have a lot of Jehovah's sitting in the Freemason lodges as well. So we have to understand that Freemasonry is a religion and accept it. Right? It's a higher shoot. It's a higher position to behold when you rise in Freemasonry. Okay? So I did a poem and I'll put it underneath and I'll read it one day. And this is for the children because we're going into AI. So if we talk about the religions, what types of religions will come under understanding aspects of AI now? Sikhism. But it's not all good. Because if we're going to a different era where AI is controlling the masses, it is dangerous. Okay? It is dangerous. Because I know what AI is capable of doing. I also know that it was already taking place, but on a smaller scale. So AI has always been around since I was little. Because of the radios. Because of the TVs. This is what changed humanity. The radios. Before then, there wasn't spiritual abuse. And we could naturally progress and learn and grow through our spiritual experiences, like the natives, the aboriginals, okay? Before AI opened up the airwaves, okay? To influence us, and usually, sometimes, for good or bad. So, who is doing this? People. People are doing this. They're not afterlife. They're people. Okay? They're not people have gone. So, a lot of the elders are gone now. Okay? So we have a different understanding that we have to take hold. This AI is used as a controllable force. We have to remember they have risen an aspect of simulation. So this is understanding rising to 5D. This is understanding rising to 6D or possibilities. So this is what they do. Right? So if they've done it through me, all possibility ritual, what do you think is going to happen to the world? You silly men. Right? So you obviously knew who I was and you wanted to create that on a plane. I am Gematria 369. The highest point you can get to is obviously this energy at the top above us, which is an I know energy. Okay? I have not been treated correctly. I have been misused and mistreated, and I have had no justice. And I think it's because they think that it's because what I'm going to say now. But it's not. It's because there's a domination playing, and it's sexual. It's against women, and it's about financial commodities. So there's a problem creeping in our states. It was always there. It was just hidden. It's time to remove the black screens and see the truth and what is taking place on this plane and why. So I'm here to observe the world, which was blocked off from me a lot because I was being abused by somebody who didn't want me to see. Okay? But see when I am ready. Okay? See when I am ready. When it's too late, usually. And they do this because they're controlling women on this plane. And this is why it happens to a lot of women on this plane. And this is something that needs to change. So the highest point is what? Women and children. Okay? So, sometimes it don't work out, but that if it's for a good reason, right? That's obviously everyone would accept it if it was for a good reason. But if it's not for a good reason, then nobody's going to accept that. And, treating children as well, as young as 10, like they're prisoners, arresting them, like there was last year, when that little child was arrested and put in the back of a van, where his parents, because their social services was putting them in care, I think. But it was a police officer doing this. So you wouldn't treat an 8-year-old boy like that. It's on the media. It was all over the papers, where he was saying, no, I don't want to leave my mummy. And they took him anyway. So you could openly see that child didn't want to leave his mummy. That got coverage. There was a riot in Leeds because of that. They said it was about race. They said it was about everything. They said it was about everything but the truth. And the truth was, they are taking children at mass rates. Where are they going? A lot of them, we don't know where they're going. This is unfortunate, because this is where the Freemasons feel like they have a right to stand away and pretend that they don't exist and laugh and joke about it. So you're not a Freemason if you don't care about women and children, okay? Because that's part of understanding the natural law of life, okay? Just like a baby who needs to feed off their mother. Was it in the World Health Organization says till 2? Yeah? So we must understand that them things are very important for our children, and to try and separate them under legal law and say it's higher than anything else in this plane is a misuse of your power, okay? Understand me. It is a misuse of your power. So there'll be consequences for this as well, all round. Because the reason is, when you take out square roots, okay, as well, we'll get back to Freemasonry, the truance of it, the reality, when you take out your goddess, okay, your understanding that's actually in the flesh, because everything's beyond, apart from Freemasonry, right? So it's almost like you can understand we're the closest things to God. The 369s are the closest things to God. The ones who are the trias. Okay? The 369s, no adding up, they just are. Okay? You understand they are the closest thing to God. Okay? That you can even be near on this plane. Okay? So when you treat your God like that, do you think you're going to go through the next window? Do you think you're going to pass? Do you think that you're going to succeed? Who is God? God is a woman. It's the closest thing that you can receive on this plane through understanding magic and the fall through. It's the Gematria. Okay? It's the heart. So this is what we teach. The heart of the world. The Kabbalah needs to be turned. Okay? The sun and the moon need to be moved. And we have to understand the Kabbalah, okay, isn't necessarily a truth. It's just something to go by. It's just an aspect of like closeness. So I could see it and read it and then show a different version. A truth. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know this. Okay? So, in this reality, in this conversation that we're having, when you talk about a goddess, I'm not sitting there going, ooh, I'm a goddess and I'm better than all of you, which, sometimes You might think that I'm like that, but I'm not. It's because I have an ascribed status. I was born in an ascribed status and understanding. But if I had been born into this, and you all knew who I was, why was I treated so bad? I'm not a martyr. I'm a mother. Okay? So what's my role on this plane? It's to teach. All women have a role on the plane if they choose to have children, is to teach. It's a natural law. And yes, I'm bringing it in. It's important because when the legal laws are set and they go against our natural law, the Freemasons had a problem. Okay? A lot of them were taken out and they created a ladder, which is understanding aspects of the Kabbalah. But they pushed everybody down because you understand the Kabbalah should be these upwards. The heart is at the top. Okay? So in this world it says service to others is first. Understand? Sometimes it goes pink because the earth is doing it itself. It's an organism. So it shows you as a reflection of where we need to focus on. Sometimes it's black. We need understanding. Okay? So that's where it sits. But usually, heart of the world is one position and one spot. And it was blasting the whole world. Right? There's a connotation that makes this real. The simulation that brings an aspect of Freemasonry together. Because I was going up and opening that. And everyone could see it all the way down to England. I was proving it. But I won't do that anymore because I've already proven it. I don't have time to do that anymore because I can't heal you all when you don't follow an understanding of what I'm trying to bring to a broken Freemasonry lodge or to a broken fraction of our society. We have to understand the Kabbalah and turn that around like I have done, and I've showed you all what a true Freemason stands for. And I know there's a lot of you there, and I believe in you. I believe in you. Okay? I love you. I believe in you. Keep doing the right things. Okay? Don't get involved in it if you don't have to be. You don't have to sit in the lodges. They've been taken out. Okay? I am Gematria. And I'm here to comfort you all. Because a lot of things have been broken. And it is time to stand up for what is right under natural law. Because there is a dismantling taking place on this plane. It's being done in many areas of our fractions in our society. And if ever, now is the time to stay together, because you would have found yourselves through that. And the people who've been committing against what we all truly knew and understood should not be sitting in them lodges. They should be removed. People who go against protecting minors, who are people who are pedophiles, people who hurt women. Okay? These people are not, should not be sitting in them lodges as the high one, the most high. Because if you don't represent what I represent, you are not the true high one to represent that lodge. If you are conducting anything towards violence, oh yes, violence and harming little children, you're not ascribed to a religion, because religions are unified, they connect. So if you can understand how the connection always falls down to understanding unity, it is about how they've connected all together over time, and it creates a strong hold. And the Freemasons are supposed to be at the top. How about that? How about that? So obviously the Kabbalah wouldn't agree. The Kabbalah would take you on a different understanding and a different travel. But it shows that wisdom and understanding can rise to a heart. So let's turn it around like the ladder and understand the heart is at the top. It might be at the side a little bit. It's at Sweden, isn't it? I think that's one of the main areas. And it runs at the North Pole, isn't it? So is that south and north? So why are they both there in them spots? Definitely there. In that centre. See, is it the one where it's light and then dark? There's going to be darkness for half a year. Well, that sounds like the centre where the heart swirls. So, is that side west and that side east? Think about that. So, in all, when everything's lost, we have to rise again in an aspect of unity, and this is what brings us back together, and then this is what can rise us to a window so we can go beyond. Okay, we have to understand this. We have to live by these things. This is why all you true Freemasons out there are in my heart. But if I know that you have done things and you're a Freemason, but you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing and hiding behind people who are hurting people, then we know that you're not a true Freemason. We know in our hearts that you are not a true Freemason because you've hurt Gematria. Okay? You don't leave. So, as the saying goes, butter me up, Scotty. This is really not gonna happen, because just because I show you an aspect of love and you're a bad person, just because I show you that, it doesn't mean that it's forgiven. It's because I'm teaching you what that's supposed to mean. And this might be why my heart got dashed, because it was electrocuted. And this is also why, because people think it's game pug world, because they're too far in the simulations to understand, because they forgot their religious underpinnings. So some people won't be religious. They might claim to be, but they're not as well. So religion usually brings an aspect of Freemasonry, because we're looking for something. We want faith. So this is why it is so important to hold on to everything you are, because I know what it feels like to be taken advantage of and hurt, and it shouldn't happen. That is not a true Gematria. A true Gematria is love. Okay? And I always knew that that was the answer. So, people can pretend to come back to you in an aspect of AI simulation and fill your boots, but it's time to put your big boy pants on and your big girl pants on, because I am Gematria, the 369, Holy Grail, right? So what are you going to do, Jesus me? No. Why? Because we're not your sacrifice.